Well, hi everyone. It's Friday. Can you believe it? What a week! I've totally enjoyed this week, including today. I probably had the most fun. I did have the most fun as I filmed today's show, or at least our "Where Are We" segment of this week's shows. We're going on a cruise together, you and I. But today is Friday, and so I wanted to remind you Sunday is our at 5 o'clock TV6, our Saddleback Church Laguna Woods worship time together. And David and Noel have some great songs for us, and it'll be wonderful. And so I hope you join us for that. Let me just say, a week or two ago, the Sunday afternoon didn't play. And it actually warmed my heart how many of you either called me or Vicky or Joan or Lorraine, whatever. You called us all and some of the station. Where's our show? Here's the bottom line of it, just to bring you up to date. And the power went out at TV6, and they literally lost the scheduling that Sunday afternoon. It came back on in time, but it didn't play our show. So they gave us a credit. So that's then. And then as of right now, as I'm filming, we have a drive-by time scheduled for Sunday afternoon from 1 to 3 at Clubhouse 7. We want to give you a gift. We want to pray with you. We want to just connect as a church. So I hope you can come by this afternoon and touch base with us. But today we also, as I mentioned, we have a fun show, and we are going on a cruise together. And the only thing I could find in scripture that talks about going on a using the term cruise very loosely is Paul, as he went on his missionary journeys. And there's a whole bunch of times they talk about sailing in Acts chapter 20. And if you want to read them all, it starts at verse 13. But and I'll read the verse for the day after we watch the video. Okay, so sit back, enjoy our cruise together.
Okay, now on today's show, we're gonna do one of my favorite things. And I know no mystery on where we are, at least not unless you haven't lived here long. But no, we're gonna go on the Balboa Island ferry. Anyone I have ever had a visitor, or anytime we're down here, this is one of the things that we do. It's a can't miss. Cheapest cruise anywhere. You go on a cruise, it's more than this. This is $1. Well, now I just saw it's $1.25, but that's okay. It's still the bargain of the thing. This, can you guess how old it is? It's 101 years old. This was started in 1919. Amazing. And it's still running. They have had over 2 million riders with cars and bikes. All right, we're getting ready to go. Okay, we're going. Let's see what we see. Shall we see it together? This is the heart of Newport Harbor. Love it out here. We're going from the peninsula side to Balboa Island. That's Balboa Island in front of us. And of course, one of the challenges that I've always encountered, because I've done mostly sailing here, and sailboats always have the right of way over power boats, except for one in Newport Harbor, and that is the Balboa Ferry. So as you can see, right now they're running 2 ferries. They go back and forth. In the summer, when it's really busy, they run 3 ferries. But as I was saying, the island, it has the right of way even over sailboats. So I used to have the hardest time getting past in my little Sabbath. I'd get past the Balboa ferry. Isn't this a fun ride? Now you're seeing right down the harbor coming up now. Let me zoom in. That's straight. Now the harbor's about 4 miles long, maybe 5. Biggest number of boats in the small boat harbor in America, in Newport Harbor. See out on that point over there? That was John Wayne's house. I used to see him out quite often. He later moved over to that side of the harbor. But he was a real hero down here. And here we are, we're coming up. I'll let you. Welcome to Balboa Island. Wasn't that fun? What a cruise! What a cruise! I loved it. I never get tired of it. Diane and I did it this time, not in our car, just on foot, but you can, however you do it. And that's how you land. And then that will drop and the cars drive up. 101 years old. What a blessing.
Wasn't that fun? Honestly, I never tire of going on the Balboa Island ferry. One thing I forgot to mention, I did mention that it was 101 years old, but one thing I forgot to mention is that my father used to drive the ferry, be the captain of one of those ferry boats when he was in high school. And back and forth he would go, and you know how much it cost then? 5 cents. 5 cents to ride on the ferry to go from the Balboa Island to the peninsula. What a blessing. There was one exception to that my father told me about, and that is if you were a cute girl, you rode for free. So probably all of you would have rode for free. But that's when my father was driving it. Now, as we said, it's $1.25. I love that. Well, in Acts chapter 4, that does talk about Paul going on sailing ships from verse 13 on down. And it says, we went ahead on the ship and we sailed to Assos where we were going, and we brought Paul aboard. And then it goes on to talk about all their experiences sailing. And some of them were rough sailing. We didn't have a rough day on our trip, did we, across the bay? No. By the way, I was going to talk about Jonah and a whale, but there's never been a whale that I'm aware of in Newport Harbor, so I scratched that. I've seen dolphin about 10 times over the years, but never a whale. Verse 16, I digress. Verse 16, Paul had decided to sail past Ephesus to avoid spending time in the province of Asia. I read that Paul decided to not sail, or to sail past. And I put that in because I thought that was interesting, in that Paul made wise decisions on where he should go and what he should do. And I think, God gave us minds, and that's kind of my thought for this day. Use our minds in the best way that we can to continue to grow in him, and that includes worship. I love that you come on this show, that we can start to think about the Lord together every morning. Thank you for doing that. I have loved this week. Thank you for indulging me to go to the places that I love, that are near and dear to my heart. And I know you have the same. I'd love you to just email me the places that are near and dear to your heart. I really am interested in that. I love people's stories. God bless. Have a great week. We'll see you at worship on Sunday, and back here for another great week next week on Inspiration for Today. God bless.
Beautiful day. It's wonderful. This is the day that the Lord